Okay, so this video just looks at one or two issues some people may have had using the Python interpreter to install NumPy. So this is on the functions part of the labs we were talking about before. And what we're looking at here is why does NumPy not install properly? You may need to download a Python interpreter. So if you're using Windows, you'll download this file, this exe file, to your desktop. The reason we download it to our desktop is because you have more permissions there, whereas for other locations, you may not have permissions. So if in doubt, install things to your desktop will mean you have much more read-write access compared to other locations on your computer, which because they are installed for all users rather than just you. But for your computer, you probably just want stuff for you yourself only. So when you run this file, you'll see this window pop up. So you want to go to custom installation and then unclick the installation for all users. And I'm going to go through with this with you in just a minute. What you'll do then is make sure that the desktop is the place where you're installing it, not the default location. That's in the next page on advanced options. And then you'll see this at the end, the setup was successful. That's how you know it worked. You don't see this weird pop-up window occurring, asking you for your username and your password. That will mean that you can now go to File, then Settings, then Python Interpreter, and click on the symbol here at the plus sign to install your NumPy library, as we indicated before. So that Python Interpreter part here, down here, will mean you can install NumPy, and it might take a minute or two to download from the internet, but that will let it work for you. So now we're going to look at this in more detail. If I can find my mouse. So what we're going to do is take that link we had before here, and then we paste it in here to the browser. Hit enter, that'll download, click on it to install it. You hit run, and now you see different options here. So you want to go to the custom installation. Custom installation, you toggle this off for all users, so you don't need admin privileges anymore. Then you go, instead of this location, instead one that works is the desktop. So just use the desktop, install, let it install, might take a minute. And then at the end, we should see that success screen. So that when we open PyCharm, we'll be able to look at it there. So let's just give it a minute to install. You see there it's Python version 3.11. .1, which is the version, I think from version 3.9 onwards is fine. And what we're going to see on our interface here is that the version of the Python that's usually listed down here in the bottom right hand corner. So if we just a step ahead, if we click on that, you see that the interpreter is 3.10. We could add a new interpreter, perhaps, with the one you just downloaded. Add local interpreter, and where is it going to be? Yeah, it's going to be on our desktop. So we see that one's still installing. But if we hit, for the one that's on the desktop, we hit OK, that will create the Python interpreter for us. Again, these things might take a minute, but eventually they will work. And that will mean at the end is that you're able to go to File, Settings, halfway down the menu, click on Settings, and then you should see the Python interpreter, and you should be able to hit the plus sign here to add NumPy or whatever you need. And again, everything just might take a few minutes because there's just different things being downloaded. So then you hit install package thought at bottom left hand corner, and that will all work very well for you. So that's the step for installing your own Python interpreter if you have issues with NumPy.